This is Matt Moneymaker with the BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. This video is for BFRO Report 72276 from Rusk County, Texas, March 4th, 2022. I am referring to this case as the Texas Ebenezer situation, and I'll explain why later. It's an important Bigfoot report for a few reasons. There's been vocalizations near this property and 2 visual incidents on the property, the most recent being March 4th, 2022. There's a better than average potential for video footage in the future from this property. There are already important insights from this situation that can be applied at other rural properties for obtaining video footage of Bigfoots. The rest of this video has 3 major parts. There's the satellite images and place names identifying the general location in Texas, and that's to allow you to look around with Google Maps or Bing Maps. Then there's the timeline of events at the property, as written by the husband. I'll read his report. Then there's the phone interview with the 2 witnesses, so you can hear the story straight from them. Why would there be a better than average potential for video footage coming out of this location? Well, for one thing, the residents haven't tried to scare the figure away. They haven't shined spotlights around outside or shot guns or made noises to deter it. Also, there are little security cameras, infrared ones, already installed outside the house. One of them was aimed at the window where the figure walked up to. Unfortunately, it wasn't working because the system has been hit by lightning twice and knocked out. He replaced the cameras once, but it was zapped again. He will replace them a 3rd time, though. This 7 to 8 foot tall figure was looking through the bathroom window when the wife was inside taking a bath. For that reason, all of us think it may come back and do the same thing in the future when the wife is inside taking a bath in that same room, which she does every night. And if it returns, and if the cameras are working again, one of those cameras could get a very good shot of this thing hanging out there for a little while. On this USA map, notice the red pin down by the Gulf of Mexico. That shows the position of Rusk County, Texas. It's not very far from the Louisiana border, and it sits roughly halfway in between Dallas and Shreveport, Louisiana. It's on the rainy side of the state, where most of the Bigfoot sightings happen. Notice the dark green shaded areas. That's where forests predominate. The lighter green areas are a mix of forests and open grassland. The white areas are mostly grassland. The coloration is more detailed and striking in the satellite image. West Texas is pretty desert-like. As you move further to the right, closer to Louisiana, there's more and more rain coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. It makes everything greener. Generally, the greenest areas receive the most rain. The more rain means the more trees and streams and swamps and more animals of various types and sizes. Not all of the dark green zones in this image of the US are hotbeds of Bigfoot sightings, but all of the longtime hotbeds of Bigfoot sightings are in the dark green zones. If we take a little bit closer view via satellite, we see more of the important green patterns around Rusk County. You can just begin to see the threads of dark green around Rusk County, which are thickly forested river bottoms, and you can spot the river bottom that's most pertinent to this report. The river you see just above the pin for Rusk County, which actually crosses through the word county in this image, and extends northwest above Tyler, Texas, and just below Longview, is the Sabine River. The Sabine River area is definitely one of the hotbeds of sightings in Texas. For the past few decades at least, there's been a pattern of sightings within a few miles of this river. Most of those Bigfoot sightings and sound reports are within the drainage of the river, which means not only the Sabine River itself, but also all of its feeder creeks and all the land in between them, anywhere where the rain runoff will eventually flow into the Sabine as opposed to any other river. All of that together is the Sabine River Basin, and it is a lot of land. The part of this river basin path that we're concerned with is just past where it bends away westward from the Louisiana border and goes up between Longview and Tyler and the little town of Henderson. If we zoom down toward Henderson, we can see the area I've indicated as the Ebenezer zone. It's about 6 miles northeast of Henderson and about 3 miles west of the very small town of Church Hill. The reason I'm showing a zone rather than just a pin for the property is because the property owners don't want that location revealed just yet. Suffice it to say, the location is one of the properties within this zone, and the Bigfoot that came up to this property a few times probably works its way around this whole zone. To get right on top of this zone quickly using Google Earth or Google Maps, and you should use both, click in the search field and type in the one and only place name in that zone, which is Ebenezer Apostolic Church, Texas. And now you know why it's helpful to nickname this Bigfoot as Ebenezer. And if you had been in the parking lot of this little church late at night when the property owners heard the loud Ohio howls in the distance, you would have heard them too. Because from that church parking lot, you're just a short walking distance away from the property. In this type of terrain that's roughly half open field and half woods, a Bigfoot or a family group of them are going to be able to stay out of view if they're moving at night. They can stay under tree cover and only occasionally cross a road or an open field all the way to the Sabine River and then all the way over to Louisiana.